Okay, guys, this is Casual Gamer Reed. I just got done watching the CM Punk documentary, "The Best in the World." I've just watched a documentary of this DVD. The documentary, "The Best in the World," CM Punk on Blu-ray. I just watched it, and I've not watched any of the matches, but the documentary itself is about 2 hours long. It's like 9 minutes short of being 2 hours, I think, something like that. And it is amazing. This documentary is. This documentary, you can't say much about it. The documentary starts out with talking about Punk growing up in Chicago, how he had a horrible relationship with his parents. He actually called himself a space boy, and through his experiences with his family, the horrible experiences he had, he came to the decision to be straight edge, not to drink, not to do drugs and all this stuff. So he decided to be straight edge because his family was just such bad examples of everything in his life that he wanted to be different. It also talks about how he got involved in wrestling. He connected with one Hall of Famer. I forgot his name. But that's how he got involved in wrestling. He started doing backyard wrestling, and that caused a rift with his family. The family did not like that, along with how he was so dedicated to wrestling that one person said that he makes a better best friend than a boyfriend, because he's just so dedicated to wrestling that he didn't care about anything else. He wanted to be the best in the world, and because of that, he just had a lot of trouble with his family. Now, he met Colt Cabana and was heavily talked about next in terms of the friendship, how Colt Cabana helped tutor CM Punk in the IWA, where he got his start in independent leagues. I think it was IWA he started out with. And he had a TLC match with Chris Hero that really helped to build him up also. Got some huge buzz from that. Then he talked about his Ring of Honor career, where he wrestled Raven. And he also wrestled Samoa Joe in a lot of matches. Him and Samoa Joe had, like they said, a trilogy of matches. He said they had like a lot. And I've never seen none of them, but I'm sure you can find them on YouTube if you looked. Punk also discussed the Summer of Punk storyline, where he used the internet to his advantage and as a final match. And he openly admits that he wasn't ready for the emotion it caused. Punk's current workout route was discussed in regards to his changes over the years in the WWE. In the WWE development territory of the OVW, from the bad attitude that he had and the positive and negative relationships that he had. ECW Rebirth was covered next. Talks about how Punk went to ECW and wrestled John Morrison. And he was the first pick of the draft. I think Paul Heyman had that for the ECW draft back when they had that. You remember when they had the draft and they would pick wrestlers? Punk was the first one they picked. He talked about his matches he had with John Morrison. All those matches, they had a lot of great matches with CM Punk and John Morrison. And he also talks briefly about William Regal, his feud with William Regal, how that helped him. And one of the many highlights of the documentary came when he talked about his heel turn. It was talked about his heel turn with Vince. Vince kind of challenged him to do that, and he did that, and he started taking control of his own career. Pretty much, CM Punk did. Punk goes over the importance also of his tattoos, how important they are to him, and how it links him to people in his life. Before talking about the Straight Edge Society, where Joey Mercury gave a real personal story about how Punk saved him in real life. A lot of people did not know that. I did not know that. Punk gives the details of being wrestling Jesus, down to little things like names of groups, members, and the heavy amount of real life heat he got before going into the frustrations of how it was ended. The various music that Punk listened to is also briefly discussed, and the infamous pipe bomb he dropped on the world, which was shown in full detail on this DVD. from the months leading up to his contract expiring into being very upset at WrestleMania in the main event to the backstage reaction he got from everyone. He got a lot of heat backstage, but Cena actually gives Punk a lot of credit. He said that he's one of the most dedicated wrestlers he's ever met. And this DVD is amazing. This is just touching some of what I can remember. Just watched it last night, and I need to watch it again. But this DVD, this documentary that I watched, was amazing. Punk talking about his career. You feel sorry for the guy, how he was treated growing up. Man, he was an asshole to work with. You know, he was really an asshole. A lot of people did not know that. I did not know he was this bad to work with, but he worked through it, and he got through it, and he always called himself the best in the world no matter what, even though he was far from it. Even in his early days, he did not care. So look at the matches on the DVD. The OVW Championship Tournament Finals, he was in that. He fought Brent Albright, it says. Just Incredible. This is his OVW matches. Then the ECW. Just Incredible was Punk's in-ring debut for the WWE. He wrestled this match on the DVD. Also, we have a ECW champion. He fought John Morrison. That match is on here. Money in the Bank ladder match. Chris Jericho, Shelton Benjamin, John Morrison versus CM Punk, Carlito, MVP, and Mr. Kennedy. Let's see. Kofi Kingston, World Tag Team Champions, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase versus Punk and Kofi. Let's see. I know there's qualification matches on here with Intercontinental Champion William Regal. That was that match I remember. That was a great match. That's on here. Anybody remembers that? That was great. TLC match. World Champion. It was CM Punk for the World Championship versus Jeff Hardy. Also wrestled Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. That's on here. And WWE Champion John Cena. Let's see. Wrestled John Cena. Money in the Bank. That's on here. Yeah, okay. Of course, that would be on here. Then the WWE Championship match, WrestleMania, him and Jericho's on here. Then we have another one, a WWE Championship match again, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And Rey Mysterio's on here again. I think. No, that's it. And that's it. The bonuses include, let's see. I can't really find that. But there's so much on here I've not watched. I just watched the documentary. And that's all the matches on here. This Blu-ray, DVD, whichever one you get, you're going to be very pleased with it. This is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen on a wrestler. And it's got all kinds of little things where Punk will talk about how people were trying to hold him down, his career. Then he'll cut to like Michael Hayes when he'll say like, this guy was against me. He never said his name, but he would say like, this guy's against me. Then it would cut and show Michael Hayes talking. And another scene where he would talk about how the corporation's holding him down, which this is actually true. He felt he was being held back by Vince and Triple H, and he would talk about how he was being held back. Then it would cut and show Triple H and Vince talking about CM Punk. You know, just little stuff like that. This DVD is different than anything you've ever seen WWE do before. This, you can pretty much say this is what CM Punk wanted. He got what he wanted with this one. You know, he got creative control over this Blu-ray, DVD, whichever one you want to call it. But he got full creative control over this, and it was just amazing. I give this a 10 out of 10. If you've not watched it, if you're thinking about watching it, it is a must-watch, folks. Amazing. I've just seen the documentary, and that was the main reason why I got it. So please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time.